Hello, my name is Jasper van den Hout and I'm a director with the IAASB. And I was part of the IAASB's team that developed the ISO for LCE. This is the first video in our three-part video series detailing the IAASB new standard for audits of less complex entities, also known as the ISO for LCE. Today, we're going to talk about the benefits of using the ISO for LCE. Let's start off with some background. The ISO for LCE is the new IAASB standard for financial audits of less complex entities and is an alternative to using the ISAs. The standard is proportionate and tailored for the needs of an audit of a less complex entity. The ISO for LCE is based on the ISAs and enables the auditor to attain the same level of assurance, reasonable assurance. Importantly, the ISO for LCE is not lesser than an audit performed under the ISAs, and it does not reduce the quality of the audit or necessarily the amount of work needed. Instead, the auditor's work is more focused on targeted, relevant areas. Small and medium-sized entities make a crucial contribution to the global economy, with an estimated 90% of the entities across the world being small and medium-sized. Audits of financial statements of less complex entities are often conducted for a variety of reasons, including being legally required to ease access to credit, and to support management needs. Although the ISAs are designed to be applied to a wide variety of entities with differing circumstances and sizes, the IAASB has heard increasing concern about their length, complexity, and understandability. Additionally, some jurisdictions have developed or are considering solutions of their own. The ISO for LCE meets these needs, providing a global solution to help auditors undertake consistent and effective high-quality audits for less complex entities. Firstly, the ISO for LCE is a standalone, proportionate, and tailored to the needs of an audit of a less complex entity. This means that in jurisdictions that allow its use, it is an alternative to the full set of ISAs. As the ISO for LCE is a standalone standard, there is no need to refer back to the ISAs. If the entity being audited has a matter or circumstance that is not addressed by the ISO for LCE, then the ISO for LCE may be inappropriate for the audit. The ISO for LCE focuses on core audit procedures. All elements of the new standard recognize that the audit needs of less complex entities are different. As we said, it's not lesser than an audit performed under the ISAs, but it is different. With this standard, auditors are getting relevant and focused requirements and guidance that can easily be applied. Secondly, the standard contains all requirements necessary to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the financial statements are free from material misstatements, whether due to fraud or error. The requirements included in the ISO for LCE enable auditors to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence to reduce audit risk to an acceptably low level. At the completion of an audit, the auditor will be able to express an opinion on whether the financial statements are prepared in all material aspects in accordance with the applicable financial reporting framework. Thirdly, as a global solution, the standard will help maintain confidence in financial reporting of less complex entities and promote consistent application of the auditing standards. Just like an audit conducting using the ISAs provides the trust markets and investors need when making decisions, the ISO for LCE will provide the same confidence in financial reporting for less complex entities. The ISO for LCE reduces the risk of jurisdictional divergence by driving consistency and comparability globally. Although, it should be noted that the standard also provides flexibility to set jurisdictional boundaries or thresholds to ensure that the ISO for LCE fits the needs of each jurisdiction. The ISO for LCE is based on the requirements of the ISAs. However, there are a few key differences between the two sets of standards. Firstly, The ISAFR LCE can only be used when auditing the financial statements of a less complex entity. To determine if an entity qualifies as less complex, auditors must review all criteria as set out in the authority of the standard. Secondly, the structure of the ISAFR LCE was designed to help auditors understand the flow of an audit, with clear and understandable requirements. Some audit concepts have been grouped to take into account the typical process of the audit of a less complex entity. Thirdly, as the ISAFR LCE is focused solely on less complex entities, it only includes the requirements that are relevant to those entities. When developing the ISAFR LCE, the IAASB reviewed all requirements in the ISAs to determine if requirements should be added to the ISAFR LCE, modified and adapted to the nature and circumstances of an audit of an LCE, or excluded from the ISAFR LCE. For example, some requirements relate to complex matters, and other requirements may not frequently apply in an audit of a less complex entity. Because of that, the length of the standard is also quite different. The ISAFR LCE is shorter than the ISAs. The ISAFR LCE consists of 10 parts, as opposed to 37 standards in the ISAs. The ISAFR LCE also includes guidance alongside requirements, which makes the standard easier to navigate. The ISAFR LCE is easy to understand with plain, simple language and following the flow of an audit. It is clear, succinct, and concise, including both requirements and guidance. It is focused only on matters applicable to less complex entities. Visit the ISAFR LCE webpage to access the standard and all the materials we have published to help with the adoption and implementation. Watch our videos focused on the authority of the standard and our walkthrough of the standard. Connect with your local professional accountancy organization to understand when and how the ISAFR LCE will be adopted in your jurisdiction. Stay tuned this year when we will issue supplementary guidance on the authority and on reporting, a fact sheet on adoption, and a first-time implementation guide. Follow us on X or LinkedIn or subscribe via our website to be notified on future materials and webinars. Thank you for watching this video.